What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel as you tune in and check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on the return of Jason Tatum to the Boston Celtics, right? And I'm not surprised that Jason Tatum is coming back. I said once I found out that Jason Tatum was working out and in the G League and working out with other professional basketball players, I was like, yeah, um, Jason Tatum wants to come back, right? So I'm not surprised. Now the thing is, Jalen Brown has this team. You know, they looking pretty good, to be honest. Like the Celtics are looking pretty good, and Jalen Brown has basically been carrying the team. So now they have a problem. The situation is, and it's not a bad problem. You got a player of Jason Tatum's caliber coming back. You're already in a good position as a team. So now what you want to do is you want to work Jason Tatum back into the lineup without messing up the chemistry, right? And so and with that, I just think that it's going to be hard depending on Jason Tatum. I know, like, their reports are saying that Jason Tatum said to be a he's not coming back to be a role player. But I think that's the wrong approach to have. You know, if the team is already having success, and you know what, if the team is already successful, the thing for him to do is to have the attitude that, whatever the team need, however I can contribute to the team to make them successful. That should be his approach. Because he had and Jason Tatum also has to be careful. Like he's playing in Boston. Like when you're playing in Boston and you're playing in LA, if he goes there and the fan base feel like he sabotaged that situation, and he tanked that situation just for selfish reasons, then that will he'll never be able to live that down, man. You can't do that in Boston, because that fan base is just crazy. So he should just go ahead, in my opinion, and do whatever's necessary for the team to be able to to win. Just do what he can do, whether it be a role player, which of course he's not going to be a role player, but if that's what the team needed, then he should, be willing to give them that. LeBron James said when he came back to the Lakers this year, he was going to do whatever the Lakers needed him to do. So I'm surprised that this kind of statement would come from Jason Tatum. So now Carmelo Anthony seems to say the same thing, right? He thinks that Jason Tatum should just work his way back into the lineup and be able to give the team what the team need, not necessarily what he want to do, what he wants to do. So let's listen to the comments by Carmelo Anthony. Then I'm gonna come back and add some more input to it.
JB could get them there. He could get them to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now, winning, you're going to need a full strength Jason Tatum.
How tricky is it bringing a star player back to a team that's like already in rhythm?
It could be tricky if you don't establish it early. Because right now, Jalen is holding the fort down. You don't want to that up. The excitement of bringing JT back is going to uplift everybody. But how you implement him is very important. I'm sure the front office and Joe Mazzulla is thinking like, holy like how the am I going to do this? How do I have a conversation with JT and say, hey, we're going to bring you off. Like, what do you think about coming off the bench while you get your rhythm and find your pace? And what do you think about that? That's a tough conversation, especially with somebody who already put out there and said, I'm coming back to be Jason Tatum.
And the team's playing good. They're second in the East, right?
And great.
They're playing great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's an MVP candidate. JB sacrificed everything. He was a sacrifice guy. Here, JT, go ahead, you lead. Boom, I'm going to lead in my way. I'm going to help you lead. But now I held the fort down for you. I had the fort down for the whole organization who probably didn't think we would be in this situation.
Right.
JT got to be very mature about this situation. Like, we got a chance to come back and win a championship. You know what I mean? Let me just put my pride and my ego to the side for these next 3 months and continue to let JB
Be the man.
Steer the ship.
Yeah.
Because he's proven that he's doing it.
Yeah.
He's doing it at the MVP level on both sides of the court. You know, nobody thought Boston would be like this. People down in Boston, they have a complete team to go out there and win a championship.
Nothing would make me more sick as a Knicks fan.
I mean, trust me, it'll make me sick too. But I'm just saying, this next couple of weeks, it's going to say a lot about where Boston organization is headed and the message that they're trying to send to whoever.
So there is a lot at stake here. It's not.
All right, so now with, like Carmelo said, Jalen Brown was, you know, like he had no problem being like playing Robin to Jason Tatum's Batman, right? Although he probably, you know, he may have wanted more credit, and you know, but he never did anything to upset the chemistry that the team had. You know, he always took, even though he showed up in big spots more often, in my opinion, than Jason Tatum did. Now it's Jason Tatum's turn to you know, just take a back seat to Jalen Brown, right? Just allow Jalen Brown to continue to do what he's been doing. This is not a situation where, like I said earlier, like this is not a situation where Jason Tatum want to come in and seem like he's selfish and you know, mess everything up. This is, you know, they had a discussion, like there was a discussion about like getting rid of one of these guys. So if Jason Tatum comes in and he seems like, you know, he's selfish and he messed this situation up, they might run him out of town if he messed this up. So he has to be very careful, Jason Tatum with how he handles this situation. Jalen Brown, no matter what role he's playing throughout, you know, his whole time in Boston, throughout his whole career, he's always he's always been professional. And like Carmelo Anthony said, Jalen Brown is dominating, having a great season on both sides of the court, defensively and offensively, right? So if Jason Tatum is wise and intelligent, he would just go ahead and just you know, give the team what the team need. Now, Joe Mazzulla, the coach, this will go a long way to letting people know like how much influence and how much control Joe Mazzulla have of that locker room, how much control that he has and say so when it comes to his players. Like, do they respect him? You know, because if Jason Tatum trusts and respect Joe Mazzulla, right, then he will listen to Mazzulla, and then he'll do what's right for the team. So this will go a long way to letting everybody know like a lot about the team and also a lot about Jason Tatum. Now, if the Celtics are fortunate enough to continue to have success with with Tatum accepting a lesser role, then that makes him look good. You know, people won't think any less, in my opinion, of Jason Tatum. I think it'll make him look good for him to step back and say, all right, it's about the team. Let Jalen Brown continue to you know, to be the team leader and just go on from there. Let me see who did it. Dwayne Wade did it in Miami for LeBron. You know, it was his team before LeBron got there. And he took a back seat to LeBron James so LeBron James could do his thing. Who else did it? Steph Curry did it. You know, when Kevin when Kevin Durant came, Steph Curry did it. You know, before Kevin Durant got there, it was Steph Curry's team. Steph Curry, you know, did everything he could to he didn't make any waves. He did everything he could to let Kevin Durant be comfortable and let him do his thing. And then Steph Curry, you know, was like, I'm just going to get in where I fit in. And so Jason Tatum need to take a page out of Steph Curry book and out of Dwayne Wade book and just allow Jalen Brown, who has had success this year, to come in and, you know, just allow him to continue to do his thing. He don't want to be in a situation where you know, he comes in and throw the chemistry off, and you know, he trying to get his rhythm, but at the expense of the team, man. Those Boston Celtic fans, man, will run him out of town. Then you'll know for sure who to keep. You know, like I said, they had, you know, there were discussions going on a while ago about, all right, should we keep which one of these guys we should keep, which guy we should let go. And so if Tatum messed this up, man, he mess around and be playing somewhere else. So, which I don't see that happen. I think Tatum will come in and he'll just help out where he can, and just gradually work himself back into the because remember, there have been times with Tatum, he didn't, you know, Tatum didn't have a strong playoff performance, whereas though Brown has always shown up. So he really got to be careful how he managed this situation, you know, and don't let his pride and his ego get in the way. So that's my take on it. I agree with Carmelo, and some people say it's kind of ironic for Carmelo to be giving this kind of advice, but you know, it is what it is, man. Like I said, I agree with Carmelo. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to leave a comment, and I'm gonna check you all out in the next video. Peace.